Hello, everyone, and welcome back to River City Runs Red, our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle here on Restless Barbarian Gaming. I'm your storyteller, Aloysius, and I'm here with all my lovely players this week. I'm going to pick on them in counterclockwise order, starting with Jen today.
Hi. Okay, hi, I'm Jen. I'm playing Delilah Cole, who is a Nosferatu. She has gotten rid of all of her little rat pets and is trying to be more vampire-like, I think.
Yeah, she released all 30 of them
Yes.
into the neighborhood.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be fine, though.
No problems, yeah.
Every week. I promise, I know my directions. I'm Tiara. I will be playing Yvaine Mallory, a lovable clan ministry, anxious girly who is up to no good this season. A little bit. She's in her rebellious phase, so we'll see where that goes today.
Yeah.
Love that for her.
Hey, I'm Tom, sometimes called Bolthra on the internet. I'm playing Ephrem, a hopefully this week less cranky Malkavian, who is really worried that the whole universe is messing with him, and just didn't really have a good night the other night. So hopefully this week will go better for him.
So, luckily his compulsion should have worn off by now, so that should help in that regard.
Hi, I'm Pluto. I'm playing some girl named Scully. Don't know what's with them, but they're a newcomer. They just met with the coder last session and kind of struck up a deal. So for now, we're staying together. Thank goodness.
Yeah, so far so good.
So far so good.
Yes, well, when last we left off, before the coterie all got together, they had some little shenanigans of their own. Two of the more dramatic ones being Ephrem running into his ex at the club, and then being very pissed off when she was not super thrilled by his egotism, shall we say. And the other being Yvaine kind of just defying and shutting down her sire at dinner once again. I'm sure he's just super thrilled by that. But then, once all that was said and done, the coterie slowly came together. Merrick introduced Scully to the coterie, and information was shared amongst the party, and sort of began basically just sharing all the cards that are on the table right now. Got hunters, got some elfy shadow vampire man, and got potential hostilities between sects. So fun times all around, and it was mostly productive. Ephrem did storm out and Delilah chased after him. But when all was said and done, plan was sort of hatched to uncover more information about this potential Kiasid or Magar or whatever he may be. And there were a few different outlets that the coterie came up with at their disposal to potentially go bother the Tremere. They are a plethora of occult knowledge. Yvaine was talking about potentially probing some La Sombra mines at court, and Scully was talking about potentially probing some Hakata connections to see what they may have to say on the matter. And once all that was said and done, Ephrem and Delilah went and found a lonely older man, and Ephrem kind of flirted him up a little bit, barely, but asked if he wanted to go gambling. He said sure, and then Delilah and Ephrem had a little sip, and sort of just tossed him back inside after Ephrem wiped 10 minutes from his mind. And that's where we left off, and we'll be picking up the following evening. So I'm going to need everyone to make rouse checks for me.
Okay.
It's gonna be the little skull on
Little
your.
skull.
It says roll rouse check.
Okay, let me figure that out.
I got a 3. I'm hungrier.
Okay.
Hungrier indeed.
I can't figure out where this is. Sorry.
Okay. On your character sheet,
Mm-hmm.
you should have like your name and all that.
Yeah.
Do you see clan?
6 or above, right?
6 or above.
Just
Okay.
made it. Just barely.
I'm not
Nice.
sure which this is. Sorry. I
Okay, I'll roll it for
Yeah.
you.
think.
Scully's determined to not feel hungry at all this entire season.
We'll see how far we get. 'Cause it's a 3 in a row
Yeah.
situation now.
And she is good.
All right, Delilah's good. And
Mhm.
Ephrem, what did you get?
Success.
Success. Okay, so only Yvaine gets a little bit hungrier. Yvaine, how's your hunger looking? 4? You might want to consider doing something about that, but that's up to you. All right, so, I guess laying the groundwork first. Where's everybody waking up this evening? Yvaine and Delilah, I'm assuming, are at the coterie house more than
Right.
likely.
Right. Yeah.
Ephrem would not be caught dead there unless absolutely necessary.
Ephrem's already dead.
Well,
Already
dead
dead,
twice
exactly.
over.
Exactly.
Okay. No.
Permadead.
Mm.
Permadead. There you go. Yeah,
And-
he'd be at his apartment.
Okay. And Scully, I'm assuming you are also at your own haven.
Yeah, Haven. It's like a different, smaller house somewhere. I don't have a specific address.
In some
Or like-
indeterminate place in Anarch territory.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can sort out the details another time.
Yeah.
Maybe if we feel so inclined.
Mhm.
All right. And so I know at the very least, Yvaine and Scully had different plans of attack. I'm assuming Ephrem and Delilah would have been looped in on some of the more specific details as to what you guys were thinking of doing.
Mm.
And so, I guess important questions. Who's going where and with who? If anybody.
I know Yvaine would definitely send a page to each of them saying that she was planning to kind of try and go get a little bit more information by hitting up Elysium to see if she could find any, find out any more information about some of the powers that Ephrem had described. And she would kind of have like an open, I guess, invitation for either of Delilah or Ephrem to meet her there. However, I do think that before she heads that way, she would be like, I am going to go get food, so I'm going to be like not there for at least like an hour or two.
All right, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And Yvaine, if you do not want to go through the bother of hunting, I will remind you
A
that
herd.
I would say you do have a herd.
True herd.
Yeah, I would say you do have the herd merit, so you could send out to your
Yeah.
followers like, hey, having a quick meet and greet kind of deal.
Yeah. I would absolutely love to do that. I'm just trying to think of like, where's a good place to be like, oh, I'm doing an impromptu meet and greet. And this also does mean that she kind of has to like get in character for this. So this is probably why it's taking her like 1 to 2 hours. So she can kind of get dressed up as this e-girl persona that she has for her streamers. And then be like, I'm doing an impromptu meet and greet at, I don't know. What would be like the best place to do something like this?
Diablo Club?
Yeah! Let's go to Ephrem's club. She'll say Diablo. I heard about this new club. It's not, I don't know that it's new. I heard about this club and I've never been before. I've heard good things. So I'm gonna just kind of do like an impromptu meetup there. If anybody would like to come on by, I'll, be happy to take some pictures with people, a dance, whatever, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think they might have prearranged it at some point, maybe.
Just messages from, hey,
yeah, exactly.
can I just bring some? Can I bring some groupies? I don't know.
That works.
Some fans.
Yeah. He says I'll meet you there because I also want him to feed from his herd as well.
Yes, I'm assuming you.
She's going to be like collaboration with DJ Blackout.
There you go.
See, that's a good selling point right there.
There you go.
Right, yeah.
Ephrem, I'm assuming you inform Gremory that all this is going down. Seeing as
one of those,
seeing as it is their club that they own.
Yeah, but he's just super casual. Like he's just like, oh, by the way, 50 people are coming, in 30 minutes or something like that. So that's his way of like just not even asking permission. It's just
and basically like as you like pop in real quick and are about to pop out, they're just like, so long as it's good business and it's not too messy.
Yvaine will be like, first 10 people, she'll buy their first drink, like their first shot. She'll buy their first shot.
Sounds good. And people just start knocking back shots. They're like, someone else is paying? Hell yeah, sign me up.
Awesome. So I think like once she gets there, she's just kind of like socializing with the people who came there to like, 1, get the free shots, 2, take, I don't know. I guess, not pictures, right? I can't remember if Kindred can take pictures, and also I don't think they can. Okay, let me.
They can. The only ones that are hindered by that are the La Sombra. They're the only ones who are hindered by like photographs and reflections and videos and all that sort of, and just like electronics and that sort of thing. But every other kindred, so long as they're blushed, are able to do that. Which blushing would require another rouse check. Just pointing that out.
Potentially very scary.
It go very badly.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Is she blushing before she comes?
Yeah, she would
Thank you.
do this before she comes, so that she doesn't like.
Just it shows up, blushes,
middle.
loses her mind.
Yeah, she's at hunger 5 and shows up. We got a problem.
Okay, it's okay. I got 7.
Okay.
It's fine.
You are still starving, but
no.
you are still starving, but have not become a mindless animal quite yet.
Yeah.
She probably should hit the buffet first.
So, and if I remember, now can you remind me? I think if she was to activate Awe, I don't think activating Awe requires a rouse.
No, that does not require a rouse check. That's just basically just like a free action. You can just, it's on now.
Okay, so So she's going to activate that. Are there Ephrem, are there like dance cages in this club? Like some clubs have? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I would assume there's maybe something, or maybe even just little tiny platforms or something, you know.
Yeah, I sort of.
Are you talking about somewhere like away from?
Like off to the side where it's like people can kind of go in there and dance, but it's not like the main focal.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely imagine it as like there's the stage, then there's the main dance floor, and then like on the like outskirts, sort of like at the corners of the dance floor, you would have like the cages that people could like hop up on, with like little platforms and stuff if they so chose.
And then there's the VIP club. If she lets Ephrem know, there is kind of the VIP room. So.
Yes. Can she? She? Yeah. Just kind of go up to Ephrem, just like, is there anywhere where I can have some alone time?
Yeah.
With a few of my friends here.
Yeah, he's in a much better mood tonight. He's like, yeah, I'll show you.
Okay, so then she's gonna be like, all right, give me like 60 seconds, and she is going to kind of go up to like a group of people who are dancing, who came here, had some drinks on her. And she's gonna kind of slide and say, do you guys want to go to the VIP room for a little bit to relax?
So like how many people? Yeah, are you just like walking up to one person or just like?
She's kind of going up to like a just like, I'm imagining that however many people came, like they're, I'm sure people probably came with somebody, so there's like little groups that she'll go up to like a little group of maybe like 1 to 3 people.
Yeah. Okay. I'd say you find like a group of like 3-ish people. Yeah.
Okay. She's going to specifically. How much can you drink from one person? Without them having to go to the hospital.
You can slake up to 2 hunger from a person, without the risk of them having potential medical complications. 3 to 4, that's like okay, someone needs to like seek medical attention, or they could go into shock and or die.
Yeah.
And
more than that, you just killed them.
Yeah, and then 5 is they have no more blood in their body. They are a corpse on the ground now.
Okay. She's going to go up to a group of 3 and specifically pick 2 people in that group.
Okay.
Or actually, I think she's gonna say, I was going to go and relax in the VIP room for a little bit. I can take 2 other people with me. Would anyone like to go?
And all 3 of
let them fight over it.
Yeah, and all 3 of them are just like, oh, I'd love to. And then the 3 of them sort of like turn to each other and is like, but you can only take 2. And then they start just like bickering, and one of the girls says something like offhanded, just like completely unrelated to the situation at hand, and it's sort of like it had been like built up for a while, and you're like, I have no idea what the situation is going on here, but clearly that meant something. And the one girl just starts tears welling up in her eyes, and she just runs off.
Oh, damn. Oh shit. Is Ephrem watching this by any chance? Because if so, if it's gonna kind of like look to the person who peeled off, like, hey, free real estate for a burger if you want.
Oh yeah. He might slide over and be like,
comfort.
It's okay, girls. It's okay. I'll put his arms on. He's like, She'll spend some time with you. You just gotta be patient.
Yeah. So,
Can I refill your drinks?
And she sort of like wipes away her tears and is like, "That'd be very nice of you."
Come on with
all
me.
right, cool. And then I'll go with the
She
other
slinks.
two that
She
are
slinks
left
off with
here.
Ephrem.
Perfect, amazing. Teamwork makes the dream work. But Yvaine will be like, "Oh, poor dear." I'll make sure.
Yvaine
to talk
has
to
the
her
power.
later. But she will. She'll just be like, "Follow me," and she'll just kind of grab each of their hands and pull them after her.
All right, and they just sort of like let you drag them along.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh Lord. Yvaine is essentially gonna go into the, like, how is the VIP room set up? Is it just like
There's some couches.
couches? Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, you can get bottle service in there if you choose. It's probably fairly early. I'm imagining though. It's
It's like the beginning of the night, so
Yeah.
there's like nobody in here currently.
and they
There's
haven't-
like there are like a few couches and like a more open area, and then there are like a few more like private booths.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm just kind of imagining that this is like two women, and I think that she's gonna like chat with them a little bit, just kind of ask them about themselves, and then just feel like, "I'm so sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted. You two are so pretty."
And they both sort of just like giggle almost in unison at the compliment. And one of them is just like, "Thank you, but you're absolutely gorgeous. Oh my god, how do you do your hair like that?"
A lot of time and a lot of practice. I promise it did not come natural at first, but just kind of have to take it one day at a time. I would love to show you one day if you'd like. I could do like a little training, a little one-on-one. That could be fun.
I was like, and she almost like blushes at the suggestion of it.
And she's sitting in between them. She's absolutely sitting in between these two.
Yeah.
And just kind of like looking from one to the other, and then she's just kind of like, "If this is a little too foreign, please tell me. I'm just really curious. Have you two ever been interested in the fairer sex?"
I thought she was going to say timeshare. But, so.
Have you two ever gotten information on your car's extended warranty?
I would say one of them at this extended warranty talk. One of them is sort of like shyly blushes a little bit, and then the other one sort of just like looks at you with like this sheer look of confidence and says, "Oh, you know it."
Oh my gosh. And it's just like, "Oh, okay, all right, home stretch," in her mind. Then I think because the one blushed, and she's like, "I can use the confident one to make the blushing one a little bit jealous and be more into it," she's gonna turn to the one who's like, "Oh, you know it," and kind of lean in and just be like, "Oh, care to show me?" And then she's gonna wink at the other one.
And then you see the like confident one, you see like she like falters slightly, like thinking, "Is this some sort of like test? Like what is this?" But before like recomposing herself, and she's like, "Okay." And she like leans in to kiss you.
Okay, Yvaine's just gonna go for it. I'm sorry, I just saw some comment. Anyways, I think Yvaine's just gonna kind of put like a finger under her chin and say, "No need to feel worried. if you don't like it, you don't have to do it, but I just think you're quite my type. And she's just gonna she's gonna go in to kiss her, but she's going to kiss the corner of her mouth like a tease.
Yeah.
And see if this gets this girl, because she's starving. She's like, I gotta.
Yeah. And she sort of as you're being more forward about it, her face gets like even redder, and she sort of does that like really sort of that like really anxious feeling like before a first kiss, where you're like, I really want to do this, but I don't know if I can do this. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. She has a lot of that going on right now, and you can sort of like feel her sort of like ragged.
It's kind of a big
breaths.
deal, I know.
But then she sort of like turns to sort of like face you directly, and like she wants to make the move, but she's like, I don't know if I can make the move. So she
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. All right.
She'll literally just kind of stop like a millimeter from her lips and be like, do I have your permission to continue? Consent is important.
True. Yes.
Okay. She's gonna kiss this. Oh my god! Hey! I'm so sorry. My cat is trying to get in the thing.
I was gonna say there's two women making out off screen that we can't see right now.
Yeah. She's going to go to town on this girl, and then when the other one, oh my god, he's not even listening to me. He's trying to steal bread out of the counter. Because he's busy.
I've known that feeling all too well.
So I'll just say she's gonna make out with this girl, and then if the other one starts to get a little bit like, what about me? It's gonna be a 3-way makeout session, and then she will feed from them.
Okay.
But can we go to Ephrem real quick just so I can grab this?
Yes.
Sorry.
Of course. Nope. All good. All right, so Ephrem, we pan to you, and you're consoling this third leftover girl who got rudely insulted by her supposed friends.
Yeah. So what's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. So what do you like about what's her? I forget what her like screen name is or whatever. Yvaine's like. Doesn't she have like a different name or something she uses? Or
I am also currently blanking on that information.
I didn't want to call her Yvaine. I was like,
you know, that when
you say insert screen name here. So what do you like about blah blah blah?
Yeah. So, I don't know. She's just so confident and outgoing, and it just seems like I don't know. Just like she has just such a fun personality that I don't know. It's I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to be able to like emanate that in like my day-to-day life. I kind of want to be like her, I guess, in a sense. Not exactly like her, but maybe like be a little more confident, I guess.
He's gonna kind of slide in front of her, so all she can look at is him. So would you say she's your role model?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess I hadn't really thought of it like that, but yeah.
What would you do to spend the night hanging out with her?
I don't know. the true question we all ask ourselves. I don't know. Anything, I guess.
Anything. And he's gonna then take a look over at the door to see. Basically, he's waiting for the other two to be not pushed out, but basically when she's done. Because what he's gonna do is wait for the other two to come out.
Okay.
What he's gonna do is then be the great guy and bring Jennifer to Yvaine.
Okay.
For that private one. Well, I was going to say private one-on-one session, but it's not going to quite turn into that. So, but yeah.
All right. So Yvaine, you were planning on starting to take a sip from one of these lovely ladies.
Oh,
All right.
both of them.
All right. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves quite yet. So,
I know I have to at least succeed once first.
so as soon as you start taking a sip out of one of them, I need you to make me a willpower roll. I need you to get 2, and this is something that you cannot reroll. So whatever you get is what you get. I need you to get at least 2 successes or go into a hunger frenzy.
Okay. Oh, let's fucking go! Because I roll the amount of willpower that is in that pool, right?
Yes, the amount of current willpower you have. Yes.
Well, my friend, I got 4 fucking successes. So.
All right, then it is such a non-issue for you. You've never felt more composed in your life. You're like, I know I'm ravenous and starving right now, but this is nothing. So you managed to. How much do you slake off of the first one?
She's gonna go for. I'm at 4 hunger. I still have to have 1 hunger.
Yeah, the only way you can
drain
get
someone dry.
Yeah,
so
that's
I think
the only way you can get
do
0.
1 from the first girl, the one she initially kissed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds good. And as soon as you sink your fangs into her neck, she winces at first, but then she just leans into it.
The thing's I'm on that kinky shit. And she's just gonna try and kind of she's gonna kind of pull her into her, make it look like, oh yeah, I'm just just giving her little love bites.
Yeah.
Giving her little love bites. This is a sexy thing, not a I'm starving thing.
And as soon as you sort of sate yourself enough off of her, you lick the wound closed as if it was never there in the first place.
And then she is kind of gonna let the first girl sit back, and she's gonna just kind of toss her hair a little bit, and then turn and look at the other one, just would you like to join in?
And then she still tentatively but more confidently now sort of moves closer to you and sort of just leans in.
Okay, and Yvaine will just kind of hand this up. I think she just kind of takes her hand, she'll kiss the back of it, then her wrist, then up the backside of her forearm, and then she'll kind of lean in to actually give this girl a kiss. Yeah, I would like to feed from this one too.
All right.
Just one, homie.
All right, so you're just licking one more hunger off of her.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Try not to be too greedy.
All right. Sort of sate yourself enough, so now you're down to 2 hunger.
Sweet.
And the first girl is sort of just like sort of like leaning back in the on the couch that the three of you are sitting on, and sort of just like exhaustedly panting, and then like after you finish up with the second girl, she sort of like also sort of leans back on the couch and has some sort of like deep breathing going on, like she's just feeling lethargic after this euphoric experience.
Is this the only VIP room? It's like the only one. Okay.
Yeah, because there's like the VIP area, and then there's like the more like open couch area, but then like I said, there are also sort of like private booths here and there that are like
I'm imagining
secluded.
this place was a gentleman's club at some point, so that's why I
Oh,
had that
100%.
100%, yeah. So.
And then Gremory was like, fuck that shit, I'm doing my own thing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking, I'm like, I don't think that there's like she can get these two out of here. They seem a little out of it. However, I don't know, like, why don't we go get you, why don't we go get some, like, another drink, something to cool down with at the bar.
Yeah, they might like need a little assistance, but they should be able to manage being able to like get out of here and
Should wrap the arm around each of their waists. Just like, oh, feel free to lean on me if you need to.
All right. And before long, Ephrem, you see Yvaine leaving with the two other women.
And what he wants to do is kind of lead Jennifer towards the VIP room, but then he wants to, if he can catch Yvaine's eye, and be like kind of beckon her over, like, you got one more. So.
Okay. Then Yvaine will kind of just like help get the two girls situated at the bar and just say, another 2 drinks on me, whatever they want. Just like put it on her tab or whatever. And she'll be like, you know what? Let me go and make sure that your friend is all right for you. Obviously, you guys came here together. You should leave together in a good mood. I can spare a little bit more time. I wouldn't want somebody leaving sad.
Okay, that's really nice of you.
Alright, she'll just kind of, give them a little, like, quick wave, and she'll peel off and go towards Ephrem.
Yeah. And he says, this is Jennifer.
Well, hello, Jennifer.
Hi.
Hi.
I thought if you could just spare just a few moments with her back in the VIP, that might make Jennifer's night perfect.
Yes, I have a little bit more time. Why don't, if you want to anyways, we can absolutely go in for a little bit and talk. I'd love to get to know you.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Of course. Anything for someone who supports me. Really appreciate it. And Yvaine will kind of like hold out a hand for Jennifer. Come here.
And she sort of like hesitates for a second, but then sort of like excitedly takes it.
And then Yvaine will do like the little, Yvaine's like, I'm a girl's girl. She's gonna interlock her fingers with this girl, just like, come on, we're gonna go have fun.
Ephrem will follow and shut the door.
Oh, Jennifer. Jennifer.
What Ephrem wants to do is, if the three of them sit on the couch, what he wants to do, he's gonna kind of just slide up next to Jennifer and like move her hair, and like basically like because I'm sure this girl is just staring at Yvaine.
Yvaine can run interference.
And he is gonna sink his teeth into Jennifer's neck, but just maintain eye contact with Yvaine the whole time.
All right.
Oh.
I want to say,
Just straight eye contact.
Yep. Yep.
I want to say,
He's just looking at her like.
Ephrem and Yvaine, the bisexual
Maybe Ephrem has
icons
a
I
little
never would have
bit.
expected.
Right? And maybe Ephrem has a little bit more respect for Yvaine.
Yeah.
Saying. I'm saying.
All right. So you sink your teeth into her neck. And how much are you slaking?
One.
Just one. Okay.
I want to get him down to 1. So.
All right.
Because who knows how
So-
the night will continue. So.
Yeah, so very fair point. So you sink your teeth in, and once again she sort of like flinches at first, and then sort of like slowly sort of like leans into your kiss, and
And Yvaine will do the same thing again. She'll just kind of like she'll turn Jennifer's hand over and she'll just kind of place the kiss to her palm, just like Jennifer, has anyone ever told you you are extremely beautiful?
thank you.
Just can't stop looking at you.
That's so sweet of you to say.
When Ephraim's
You
done,
can tell
he'll
she, I would say you can tell
he'll
she's
lick
very
the wound.
distracted by
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
he's
right,
doing
everything's
currently.
going on. Good. That's the
He-
point.
he just kind of licks the wound and then just kind of settles back. Just watching. So
Yvaine's
Just being a creep about it.
he is a creep. I told you.
Yvaine's going to Yvaine's just going to kind of say, so how long have you been, I guess, following my channel? How did you, I guess, find me?
Only like a couple months. I think I saw a friend like repost one of your streams, or like a clip from it, I think, and then I started watching you from there.
Aren't you the sweetest thing? Well, I know that I wasn't able to give you a lot of time to meet with me, but I really feel bad with how things happened earlier. Would you perhaps like to meet up again later this week? I could give you my contact information.
That'd be so sweet of you. You're even nicer in person.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I try. You can only be so nice, but I really appreciate everyone who has shown me support and been very kind to me in the streaming community. So it's always really nice to meet everyone, make new friends. And she's just gonna kind of like she's gonna kind of keep eye contact with her and pull out a Sharpie marker, and she's gonna write her phone number on this girl's wrist.
Okay.
And then she's gonna draw a
Write your
heart.
digits.
Yeah.
And
She's gonna be like, it's gonna be like heart and then Y, or I'm sorry, heart V, because she goes by Yvaine. That's her streamer name.
That's it. Yeah, the name was eluding me because it's been so long since it's been brought up. But she sort of like looks at it, and then in her like semi-loopy state, she sort of just like rests it against her chest and like hugs it. Like, this is the best day ever.
Oh, you are so precious. And she'll just kind of tuck some of her hair behind her ear, and then she'll be like, how about we get you back to your friends? I do have to get going soon, but why don't I set you up with one more drink before I head out for the night?
I'd like that, thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. All right. Now that's what she's gonna do.
Okay.
Ephrem will help her stand up and lead her out of the room.
All right. No. All in all, a successful feed.
Yes, and we role played that. Awesome.
Yeah, love it.
Awkwardly awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, before we get into potential Elysium shenanigans,
What you had planned.
yeah, yeah. Look, these things happen. Sometimes the other things, important things. Hunger for is nothing to slouch about. Sometimes they take precedent. It's what happens. Delilah,
Mhm.
what are you planning on doing? Who are you planning on vibing with, if any?
If any. I don't know. I think she's going to text one of those pagers to Yvaine and see which club are you in. I just woke up.
Diablo.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
At which point are we getting this text message? Is it like early in the night or?
I'd say I'd say you'd be getting this message, given the timeline of things. And also Delilah's a bit of her own free spirit.
Yes.
I'd say you get this at some point when you and Ephrem are sucking the neck off of Jennifer.
Yeah, got it. Got it. Yeah. Alrighty. I did forget that I did want to drink from this girl, but that's okay because 2 hunger is fine.
Yeah, they were taking Pluto. They were just taking her neck right off. The head was still there though.
All the decapitation. So
No.
Yvaine will essentially, like, as she kind of lets Jennifer follow after Ephrem, she's gonna kind of page Delilah real quick, just like, we are just wrapping up at the Diablo Club, getting ready to head out to the next destination.
What's the next destination? How long will you be there?
Court. I guess Elysium. Find page Elysium.
Okay. I'll get there.
Should be there 30 minutes at most.
Okay.
All right. So all 3 of you are going to Elysium.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then in that case, we'll start out with Scully.
Hi, that's me.
All right, Scully. So you were planning on potentially making use of some Hakata connections. So what's the plan of action?
I think the first thing that whenever Yvaine sent that page, this doesn't affect anything that happened because Scully would just say, "Okay, I'm going to go to see the Hakata." Not like that, probably. No, it's okay over a pager. I'm trying to remember the tech rules.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over a pager, it's fine to be a bit more explicit, but if you're like using your phone, then you need to be more like vague or generic about it, or like use different keywords.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, Scully will just be like, "Okay, I'm going to the outskirts, top of my people then, because they are not going to get caught dead in Elysium."
Oh, I know. Yeah, and Merrick was very explicit of being like, "Hey, you don't need to talk to any of those people if you do not want to do that."
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, so I'm trying to remember where exactly the Hakata are located. I know they're on the outskirts of River City, but
yes, give me. I do have those. I do have notes of the exact location. I just need to look up in my notes real quick. But I'm blanking on the exact specific section, but they're like in the East Paris. That's where most of them are holed up. So the sort of like the like immediately outside of the like southeastern limits of the city.
Okay. All right. Well, she shall go ahead, hop in her car, get over there. But before that, of course, I think trying to imagine who she had. I mean, Florian was the name that was dropped. I'm just gonna go with Florian.
Sounds good.
Gonna
He'll
go
be-
ahead and send a text and say, "Hey, coming over. You in East Paris right now?"
Yes, he'll be jazzed.
Oh boy.
And he'll just message, "Hell yeah!"
So excited for her. Scully doesn't get it. But yeah, so she'll go ahead and head over there in that direction.
All right, and East Paris is sort of like outside the Ward 3 domain, so you won't be like crossing into like any other Baron's territory or anything like that to get through. So you are able to sort of like pass through rather unimpeded, and you'll also like as you're like heading there, you'll get another message from Florian being like, "Hey, where you want to meet? What you need? Question mark."
She's just gonna. I think that she'll just keep it a bit more vague. Say, want to talk about something, and I'm pulling up Google Maps. There's a Baptist church here. We're not going there, but
Not the vibe.
not exactly the vibe. Not exactly the vibe. No. Let's see. We're gonna try and meet like probably. It's hard to tell what these places look like with just like the top thing, but probably head like somewhere around the suburbs.
Okay.
Maybe, like, if there's a park, that would be perfect.
There's parks everywhere. We can say
Okay,
you
good.
guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we can say you guys meet up at a park.
Classic. I have not been to River City, so I don't know anything.
I'm gonna say every good suburb has a park, or at least one nearby.
Yeah. So park near a suburb, and she'll really go ahead and park wherever, normal
All
things,
right.
and head to like wait at probably like a picnic table or something under like street lights if it's dark.
All right, sounds good. And maybe sort of like 5 minutes after you arrive, you see Florian walking up to you, and he's just like, "Scully,
Hello, Florian.
what's up?"
I had a few questions about some spookier things.
Ooh, some spookier things, you say?
Yeah.
And he sort of like sits down next to you. What kind of spooky things?
Me pulling up ATM stuff. Don't worry about it. But nobody's really around. I'm assuming it's like pretty late. Not like super late, but like later.
Yeah, it's like, relatively early in the night, but later than like most people would just be out and about doing stuff. At least like in this part of town.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let's see. But gotta drop their voice a bit just to be careful, but like still neutral expression to private conversation, but not like super shady. Hopefully. Don't know how it'll work. But she'll be okay. So I was kind of looking around that. Not around that, but I was learning a bit of stuff about that crime scene you were talking about.
Oh yeah?
I have a couple questions about that, because mean, a couple of things came up in my research. I was wondering if you had ever heard anything about Tycids or Megars.
I mean, that is not sounding familiar, but anything else you got?
Well, coming over because apparently they have some sort of weird abilities that kind of seem like might be in the Kata wheelhouse.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah. Seems like it's also been stealing some body parts as well, from what I've heard.
Oh, that would explain a couple things from that crime scene, since they were missing bits and bobs. So you're saying this who's a what's it is taking bits and bobs off of thin blood corpses?
Seems like it.
Hmm.
That's what I've been hearing through the grapevine, at least. Just curious about it.
Interesting. Weird, but interesting. Kiasid or Magar? That's not ringing any bells to me. I might be able to bring you to somebody who might be able to answer questions about that a bit better. He's a bit more in tune with that sort of thing, let's say. Kind of. When I say creepy, if it's coming from me, you know he's creepy. At least I guess I don't know your standards, but I think he's kind of creepy. But he knows things about, you know, spooky stuff.
Alrighty. Well, I mean, creepy by your standards certainly is out there.
I mean, maybe, like, at least at a glance, you probably won't think that, but gives me the chills.
No. I'd be down to meet him.
Okay.
How nervous does Florian look? Scully's just like, I can handle myself, but
make me a wits insight roll.
Ooh. Wow, my first not hunger roll. Let me see. What's insight? So I've got 2, 3, 4 dice. I don't think that's any successes. That because it's 6 or above.
Oh.
No successes.
Okay. All right. I mean, you can tell, like, you know, he's like a little nervous, but you know, he doesn't appear to be like figuratively sweating bullets or anything like that. But you know, he's also like, well, if you want to meet him, I'll take you, I guess.
Okay, awesome. That's me. Say awesome.
Yeah.
Scully will just nod.
All right.
And this is a passive ability, but she does have Sense the Beast.
Okay.
Just keep a pin on any hostility or anything once we're meeting him.
All right, sounds good. All right, so you ever frequent the retirement home?
I can't say that I do.
Well, first time for everything. Here we go. And
Oh my god.
and he just starts wandering off. Do you want to? Let's take your car. That's probably for the best. And he's like, "You park this way."
Mhm.
Okay. And then he starts walking off towards the parking lot.
Giving me some time, giving Scully some time to think, oh boy, what have I gotten myself into?
And he sort of like points you off in the direction of like the nearby retirement home, and sort of like gives you exact directions and tells you to pull around to the sort of like back parking space. And he's like, all right, so I'm pretty sure this is where he's holed up currently. Let's just hope he's here. If anywhere, he's probably in the basement, in the morgue.
Yeah. Scully's just like squinting, a little bit thinking to herself, can't be getting that much blood from old people, right? Right?
Okay, let's go. And if you're good to go, that is.
So, nod and just go ahead, lead the way to Florian.
Okay, and he he sort of like walks up to sort of like the back entrance and opens it up and sort of like looks around. He sort of like gestures you to follow.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and sneak in. We're not supposed to be coming in through this way.
Yeah.
So, it's quick.
And then sort of like as you walk in, you see Florian like staring down like a nurse, and he just says, "You didn't see us here," and she's just like, you sort of like see her vision go sort of like hazy, and then she just goes about her business like you guys weren't even there. Come on.
Handy.
Agreed.
They're gonna go pick up the pace a little bit.
And like takes you to an elevator at the end of the hall, and then sends you guys down to the basement, and sort of it like goes all the way down, and it sort of once it reaches the basement, it settles for a minute, and then the doors very slowly sort of like creak on open, and you see Florian sort of like hesitate for a sec before like keep going, and he sort of like starts rounding the corner, and then there's like these big double doors, and he sort of like tells you to he sort of like holds out his hand, like telling you to hold off for just a second, and he sort of like peeks his head in to the double doors, and he's like, "Zafir, you got a sec? I got a friend who wants to ask some questions about some spooky stuff." And you can't like quite hear what's like being said on the other side of the doors, but then a second later, Florian turns back to you and is like, "Okay, he'll spare you a couple minutes at least."
Okay. Scully will go ahead, nod, say thank you, and go ahead.
And he'll sort of like hold the doors open for you to walk in, and you like walk in and you see a sort of like very handsome Indian man who's like very well groomed hair and beard, and he's wearing sort of like these like square glasses, and you see like when you walk in he's in the middle of like holding a scalpel and like cutting open this dead old lady, and he doesn't even like look up in your direction. He just says, "Friend of Florian, what can I do for you?"
I had a couple questions regarding some other creatures of the night.
And he sort of like peels back the old lady's skin and sort of like starts like breaking ribs and says, "Ask your questions."
Do you perhaps know what a Kiasid or a Magar are? I feel like I just butchered the pronunciation on that first one. Is it Kiasid?
It's Kiasid.
Kiasid. Okay, I was closer the first time. Kiasid or Magar.
And like when you say that, he sort of like snaps another rib, and then like without actually moving his head, you see his eyes sort of like look in your direction before turning his gaze back to the body, and says, "And what would you like to know about them?"
Didn't think I would get this right. Just general information. I know that they appear to have some sort of thing with Oblivion.
Yes, but they leer more in the realm of obtenebration as opposed to necromancy. Much like the Lasombra, they pull their energy from the abyss, whereas we pull ours from the Shadowlands. Similar source, but quite different in complexities.
Anything you know about, like, general behavior? Sort of... I've only heard it, like, in passing, and it's a bit of curiosity.
In passing, you say?
Well, not quite. I know that they're quite rare to hear about, but...
Yes. And people tend to not go merely walking around asking about them for no reason other than curiosity.
Got me there.
Enough with the charade and tell me why you're really here.
Kind of like thinking it over, and she'll just go. Been looking into that weird crime scene. Showed up with all the thin bloods. Have a bit of a inkling that one might be around.
There is.
There is?
Yes. I've had dealings with him in the past.
Mhm.
He was a good enough business partner at one point in time, but then he stopped enjoying a fair trade.
Just kind of look to the body on the table, look to Zephyr, and just be like, you couldn't turn any parts to him, or did he just want to kind of get more, got greedy? What's the story?
He wanted more information about. I believe he was extremely interested in, and he's still just like working on the body as he's talking. And he says, I believe he was extremely interested in thin blood physiology and what exactly made them so unique compared to us. They have very different properties than many other kindred. And I think he wanted to see what exactly made them tick, what made them superior to us, and what made them inferior to us. And a way that he wished to do this was by comparing the physiology of thin bloods to other kindred that he found unique or special, or just ones that he grew a fondness for. And then he made the mistake of abducting my grandchild and did some little experiments on him, experiments which he unfortunately did not survive. And that is when our partnership very abruptly ended.
Scully's just kind of taking this in because I'm taking this in.
And Florian sort of like looking like between the two of you, basically being like, what the fuck is going on?
So, do you know which one of those he was? Just to clear it up real quick.
If I had to guess, I would say he was a Magar.
Okay.
Much like their cousins, they are rather solitary creatures, but Magar tend to be more self-serving and less following some grand ideal. I know that many Kiasid fell in with the Sabbat a good while ago, but I do not know if that is still the case. Regardless, I think Magar is a safer bet. Equally, if not more dangerous, possibly, in my personal opinion.
Any sort of other general information about Magars? Trying to keep an eye out, considering there are thin bloods in the Anarchs, right?
Oh yeah, there are like tons of thin bloods in the Anarchs.
Okay.
There are way more thin bloods in the Anarchs than there are anywhere near the Camarilla, just because by and large the Camarilla hate them just for existing.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Scully's gonna go ahead and just be like, you know that there's a lot of thin bloods around. Want to keep an eye out for them.
yes, and I hear a good number have been going missing as of late.
Yep.
I'm sure you can connect the dots on that one.
Oh no, I already have. Just need to know what I'm dealing with here.
Well, unfortunately, I do not know exact specifics about them. At least not as much as I would like. I know that they at least the Kiasid and the Magar, are some sort of freak hybrid abomination created unintentionally by the Lasombra some time ago by some... It's a bit unclear, but some sort of fey contamination in their blood. And that ultimately molded them into what they are now.
Ooh. That is what's again me. Putting on the camera for that. Yeah, real. Oh gosh. I can I roll to just see how much Scully might know about Faye? It's only been a few years, so I don't know how much, but do that.
Sure. You can make me an intelligence and occult roll.
We got 5 dice, so we'll see how this goes. Hold on. Let me put it in a roll it in a spot where it doesn't get mixed up with my still dice. There we go. We got. Ooh. Okay. We got 2 successes.
2 successes.
And if you roll a 10 on not, is it if you just roll a 10 in general?
If you roll 2 10s, that's a crit.
Okay. Just 1 10, so.
But 1 10 is just a normal success.
Yeah, normal. So 1 10, 1 6.
Alright, you know very little about, like, fae and fair folk and that sort of thing. You may have, like, skimmed a couple things here and there, but you know that, like, by and large, fae are sort of separated from, like, the mundane world and what's called the dreaming, for some odd reason. It's like said that there are sort of like some fae and like fae-blooded creatures that are able to like walk through the mundane world, but that's about sort of like where your knowledge on the subject ends. Is a lot of it's sort of just like speculation that you've like read at a glance.
Okay. No, that they exist in like the very basics. Gotcha. Alright. Well. Don't get it crazy. I'm trying to think of anything else. Well, Scully will mold it over and kind of go, well, you seem rather busy, so thank you for your time.
As he has finished it now, like buzzsawing this woman's skull and pops the skull cap off to expose the brain. I will admit this conversation was more appealing than I expected it to be.
Oh, I'm glad that was the case. Scully is just like, what do you mean? I just walked in here and asked questions. Maybe he just needed a vent. But yeah, Scully is just like, glad that the feeling is mutual. I can go ahead and get out of your hair now.
I would appreciate that, thank you. Do make sure the door closes on the way out, and I would suggest avoiding your final death in the nights to come if you are dealing with Lorcan.
How do you spell that name?
Lorcan.
Okay, awesome, thank you. She'll go ahead and nod. Say, right. Sorry about your grandchild, by the way. Just gonna go ahead and step out.
And as you step out, he says, "The condolences are not necessary, but they are appreciated."
Yeah. That's kind of what she expected. So.
Yeah. and Florian sort of like follows you out. And basically, like, as soon as you're like maybe like 10 feet down the hallway, he turns to you and he's like, "What the fuck was that shit about?"
Scully's gonna turn it over in her
I
head.
don't think I've ever seen that guy talk so much.
Well, find out someone's interests, you know. Yeah, right. I could try and fill you in some more. Let's just get out of here first.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
Florian is reflecting what everyone feels right now. What the fuck was that about?
Sort of like walks you out, and you guys get back to the car. He's like, "Okay, so I want to be just straight up right now. I'd never heard him talk about any of that shit before now, so I didn't know anything. Whatever it is, I didn't know."
I wasn't expecting that. He did not seem the talkative type, so. People like to talk to a lot of people that aren't actually talkative. But, right. Here, because you helped me out. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's a whole thin bloods going missing thing.
Well, I do kind of know about that because
of course.
I kind of been, you know.
There was the whole thing about. I'm like still kind of on the outside of all of this, but there's this guy going around, obviously getting all of the thin bloods, and trying to take up any kindred, it seems, that catches his interest. So better to know what is around, and
yeah, definitely sounds like some serious shit. That's for sure.
Like, me in my head, I'm just like, is Scully going to tell? I don't think that she'll tell him about the rest of the coterie. Just yeah, she just met them. They only just met like last night.
That's fair.
But yeah, so better to know kind of what's coming. If I find anything else out about this thing, then I'll let you know. Well, Lorcott is his name. Don't make me laugh while I try to roleplay. To get your tiara. Yeah, I'll pass on some more information. Just, try and keep safe out there. Try not to die again.
Yeah. Same to you. There's gonna be a lot more boring around here.
Do you want me to drop you off anywhere in particular? Did you drive to the park? Actually, see.
Nah, I was kind of just around in the area. But yeah, if you want to just, you can just drop me back off at the park, so I can get out of your hair.
If you want me to drop you off somewhere else, that's fine.
That's nice of you, but it's fine. You can just drop me back off at the park.
Alrighty. Well, let's get on out of here then.
And you drive on. You drive on off back to the park, and Florian's like, "Thanks," and like you said, be careful.
I'll certainly try. Think about the fact that she's gonna have to. They're trying to figure out how to kill it. Oh God.
And I'll see you around then. And he hops out of the car, and you see him sort of just start walking off into the park.
She'll watch for a second, just in case. We just were talking about it. Don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
Then she'll go ahead and drive back to. She'll go ahead and page Yvaine, because I don't think she cares to page anyone else. That's like 2 other messages that she have to do.
Yeah. That's a whole.
And Merrick. Yeah, Merrick too. And just 2 separate messages. Got some information on our guy. We could meet up before you... Wait, no, they were going to... Well, no. This was like in the hours while they were off, like, partying and stuff.
Yeah, I would say this stuff was happening, like, while they were, doing their whole, like, feeding stuff.
Mm-hmm. Bisexual moment.
Yeah, their whole bisexual moment. Ephrem and Yvaine tend to have those, apparently.
Love that for them.
Love that for them.
But yeah, so Scully is going to go ahead, page them, say, I've got some more information if you want to meet up before you're heading over to talk to whoever. To Yvaine, and then she'll just update Merrick as well, just say, I got some information on the guy. Alright. But yeah, she'll probably go ahead. I guess she'll text Yvaine's coterie house, or like the house. Should I meet you there? Something
Okay.
like that. Not text page,
Yeah.
I don't have Yvaine's phone number. It's fine.
Alright, so meet up with them at the coterie house before they head off to Elysium.
Yeah, or if if they were gonna go straight to Elysium from the club, then she could meet them there, just wherever.
All right.
Yeah, Elysium at blah 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 on blah 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 street. Listen, Merrick goes to Elysium. Why couldn't
Yeah, but I would
go
say,
to
Elysium?
She doesn't
also-
know anything.
Yeah, I would say, but also, Merrick is like the acting emissary between the Ward 3
She
and the
doesn't know
Camarilla.
anything. It's fine.
I was saying also Scully was very clear on, like, I don't want to talk to the higher ups. I don't want to see them. Don't want to interact with them.
Scully will just say, not there. Just immediately back. No, I'm not going there. Is there a better place?
I think we're gonna be about an hour.
Waffle House. So.
Let's just go to a Waffle House real quick. Order nothing.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
used to
that's
it. We come in and don't order anything.
I was gonna say that's what happened the last time. I'm gonna say you were in there. I would say that's what happened the last time. Yvaine and Delilah were waiting for Ephrem to show up, but he got kidnapped, so they just sat there for like 45 minutes.
No.
With,
Mhm.
That poor
with the-
We're gonna
server.
go to the Waffle House and this thing's gonna be there and we're gonna brawl.
It'd be
He's
great.
working at the Waffle House.
He's a short order cook.
And the workers there know how to fight. They're probably hunters.
Oh my god. But yeah,
It's just a double whammy.
yeah, Scully's just like, can't go there.
Give us about an hour.
You might
get
want to
some
know.
information.
You might want to know it before you go in.
Already on the way to Elysium.
Fuck. She just says back, fuck.
Send it by carrier pigeon.
There
LOL.
How secure
Sponsor
are
Waffle House.
how secure are the pagers? Like, can you just full on name drop like something?
I don't think you can hack a pager, can you?
You can't, right?
I
No.
don't think so.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know, like, are messages stored in a pager?
You can only store so many at a time.
Yeah, I would think it's really small.
Yeah.
And I doubt
Little
it-
boxy devices, you know.
And I doubt
Yeah.
it's backed up anywhere. I mean, I think it's
Yeah,
just
no,
stored in
it's
that
definitely
place,
not. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like you
No
receive
clouds.
it, and then like, and then you can keep like a very small one, but then like as soon as you get a new one, the oldest one is just gone.
Yeah.
Just white.
Okay.
Hmm.
She'll just say ask about the M, because there's M and K. Please don't make me spell it out.
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. She'll be like,
Murder.
okay.
Please don't tell
Murder,
me
she
to
wrote.
spell it out completely.
All right. She'll just, she'll reply, all right, will do.
Right.
All right.
And I guess Scully's not gonna go to Elysium.
You can
But,
look
like-
around Elysium.
We're not doing that. That's how I get killed.
I would say,
Probably some doors open.
I would say downtown is guerrilla territory.
Yeah. Which is really unfortunate for anybody who wants to just go, like, I don't know, shop.
You can still do it. Just don't draw attention to yourself.
But yeah, I guess that an hour she'll hang around and I don't know. We're looking for another park near the coterie house. We're just gonna go hang out in a park again. This
Okay.
is
Or, like,
Scully's life.
Snatched from the park, then.
You know, I would say go find a park in Fulton Heights.
Yeah, and probably just sit in her truck. Just hang out for a while.
Sounds like a plan.
Playing some early 2000 jams.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well,
Also,
while
Yvaine Page Merrick can ask if he's at Elysium currently. Just like, are you at now you're making me nervous. Like I shouldn't say Elysium on a pager.
Scully's just paranoid. I don't know what to tell you.
Mhm.
Just in case, you know?
Yeah, she's gonna just do it anyways.
all right, so you're asking him if he's at Elysium.
Mhm.
All right, he'll say no, but in the area, can make an appearance if you need.
Not necessarily, but Scully will be heading towards the towards the house in a bit, with some info. Gonna head to one last place to get some information and then meet up.
All right, and then he just says, "Ivek, yep, got her message. Sounds good. See you soon."
Oh my gosh, see her soon? No, just kidding. All right. So-
Step up.
Do we kind of like run into Delilah like outside of Elysium?
Yeah, she said she was planning on meeting you there, so I'd say the three of you can just group up outside Elysium.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Going together, I guess, as a unit, a coterie. And then Yvaine will just say, got a message also from like once they're inside, of course.
Mhm.
I got a message from Scully. It seems like they got some information about what we were trying to look into, pertaining to our little situation. So I think the plan is to just try and see if anyone else here might have a little bit of information about these two types of creatures that we don't really have anything on, and then meet up with them in about an hour.
Are there any La Sombra in the Camarilla?
There are. The sheriff is a La Sombra.
Okay.
There
that's
is
what
also
I
a
remember.
La Yes, there is also a La Sombra Primogen. And then there's like there's like 2 or 3 other La Sombra in the Camarilla as well, but they tend to not make appearances at court.
Okay. I'd trust the sheriff more than anybody else I know, so that would kind of be my bet if we were going to ask someone from there. We could always ask the Tremere again, but I don't want to end up getting on their nerves by asking them too much. So.
I mean, maybe we can kind of, I suppose, I've been meaning to also see if the Scourge might know anything, since he kind of has a little bit more history with, I think he was sheriff at one point as well, so maybe he's had a little bit more in terms of dealing with something like this, and something might jog his memory. So split up and then reconvene, or
no, I think I like your idea, Yvaine. I like that better.
okay. Delilah, what do you think?
I'm not exactly sure what you've gotten into, but I'll join
I think
in.
we're just kind of like looking for a little bit more information about those creatures, the Kaiasid and the Magar, to try and see if we can figure out what exactly might have been the thing that kidnapped our friend here. By any chance, have you spoken? And this isn't anything that needs to happen now. I'm just curious. Have you spoken with your sire in a while?
I haven't seen him in quite a while.
Okay, I was just wondering if you thought maybe he might have some information. I know.
Oh, Nosferatu's love information.
Yeah, secrets and things.
Yeah, I would say, speaking of which, Delilah is still suffering from her clan compulsion to learn a secret information that she deems as useful.
Yeah.
So,
Uh-huh.
Well, shall we try and find the Scourge then? And go from there?
I suppose.
Yeah.
Alright. Could Yvaine also see if maybe her sire knows something? Maybe, but anyways. Gonna look for Hassan now.
alright, sounds good. Make me a quick wits awareness check to see if you can quickly spot him.
Alright. Does anyone else also want to look? I don't necessarily trust myself, but I can roll if we would like Yvaine to roll.
I can look around.
Okay.
What am I looking for, rolling for rather?
A wits awareness.
That's awareness. Okay.
So I only got a 2. I think I got 1 success. There's a
2
lot of people
successes.
here.
What are we doing? Wits and awareness? Is that right?
Well,
Mhm.
awareness wits for you.
Awareness wits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me find it. Awareness. And I don't know what that is. Hold on.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Just choose awareness,
Okay.
and then it's going to ask you what attribute you want to use.
Attribute. Okay.
And then when you got wits and awareness,
Okay.
then you click to roll.
Trying to find it. Wits? Maybe? Try that, I guess. It's not really working.
Yeah, let me roll it for you.
Yeah. I swear to God, the next time I do this, I'm just going to get my dice out and roll them on the table.
That is fine if you-
I'll say that's totally fine. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
That's
You
mhm.
release the serotonin in your brain as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the way you did it was right because you only had 1 die.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
you were right. When I rolled it, you got 1 success.
Okay.
Okay, so
So 1-1, and then
1 success, 1 success, 2
2.
successes, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Ephrem, sort of like as you sort of like walk into as the three of you sort of like walk into like the like main like banquet hall, I guess, of Elysium. You sort of like take a look around, and you like briefly see like the form of Hassan sort of like around the corner towards the back, sort of like back towards like the bar area before he like disappears behind a column.
Hmm.
And he'll just gesture to the others.
Lead the way. You see him? And Yvaine's just kind of looking around blindly, like.
He'll approach to like a safe distance to make sure that he is seen before he speaks, if possible.
All right. And you see he sort of like spots you, and it looks like he like just grabbed a glass of blood wine, and yeah, a nice glass of sanguine red, and so he has that glass in one hand, and then he has a cigarette in the other hand, and as he sees you, he sort of like takes a drag off of it and then starts walking towards you.
And he's Scourge, right?
Yes, he is the Scourge.
Okay, so I thought we were supposed to address them by their
Scourge.
So
yes. His nickname, like among like due to like his reputation, sometimes he is also referred to as the Jackal.
I think I'll just address him as the Scourge. Say, evening, Scourge.
Ms. Mallory, Ms. Cole, Ephrem.
His last name is really long. So anyway, so
last time when, just a quick question, last time when Yvaine talked to Hassan, did she even use a title, or did she just say, "Oh, hey, Hassan"?
You just said you did not use a title. You just said first name.
Bare ass name. Okay. Then she'll be like, "Bye, Hassan."
And that gets like a small smirk out of him. Good to see you too, Yvaine.
She'll look at Ephrem.
Well,
Since Ephrem started talking first.
You three look like you're up to no good.
Oh, I think we're just trying to be good, courteous members of the Camarilla community. We did have a question about something. See if you might have some information about it. Might be a bit of folklore, if you would.
Perhaps.
Have you ever heard of creatures called the Kiasid, or possibly the Magar?
I have heard of them. The only information I can accurately give is a second-hand account. I never encountered one, but yeah, a old acquaintance from many, many years ago. He claimed to have encountered one, but as to whether that is true, I cannot verify. But he also claimed to have slain it. Why do you ask?
Mention how?
It's a name that's come up regarding something that personally happened to me. I think I may have encountered one of these things.
Yes, I do believe that the sheriff had Rick looking into something about all that. And do you think definitively that it is one of these creatures?
I've heard the names come up. I don't know exactly what it was. I just know that it toyed with me. And I'd like to know more about these things so that we can see justice done.
Really speaking to the Banu in him, I see.
Nice.
And also never mentioning I want to kill another kindred. Just want to see justice done. So.
Well, I do not know the exact details, but it appears that Prince Wolf does seem to have some vendetta against a particular individual that we know little about.
Bane
So.
looks really hard at the wall for
So, admittedly, that has caught my interest, even if I have been kept relatively in the dark about the details.
Would there be a reason for this scourge to have been, like, kept in the dark about this and, like, not pulled in to help? Is it because the scourge kind of operates somewhat independently of the sheriff and the hound, in a way?
Make me an intelligence politics roll.
Alright. Let's take a looky here. Okay. I got, it's 6 and above or 7 and above?
6 or above.
6 above. Okay, then I got 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. Well, you know, in a lot of ways, while the scourge does ultimately answer to the sheriff and the prince, they are in a way kind of a rogue agent, where they're able to just dish out justice as they perceive it on the spot, or take care of potential problems that they may perceive on the spot, and maybe keeping them in the dark may dissuade them from acting too rashly, but also you could also perceive it a different way, where maybe in some ways this is a bit of a sensitive matter, where certain parties only want a select few people to know / be involved, potentially.
Could she infer from this as well that, like, perhaps the prince is keeping this information to those who she at least has some sort of like deeper level of trust for?
No, you could certainly infer that. It's not out of the it's not out of the question.
All right. Okay.
I'm thinking Ephrem has already said too much.
Does Hassan seem to feel a kind of way about this?
My goodness. Make me a wits insight roll.
I'm just about there with Foundry to be able to roll something.
Alright, let's see. You said wits insight? All right, I got 2 successes.
2 successes. It's a little hard to tell. He's kind of, in general, a difficult guy to read too deeply, especially if he doesn't want you to. He kind of has this reputation as being the oldest kindred in the city, so you get the feeling that he's kind of seen a ton of bullshit in his time, been there, done that. It is what it is. Sort of what you can potentially glean off of him currently.
God, I wish I could read auras.
Invest that XP. Maybe you can.
Well, yeah, maybe later. Because I have the feeling this guy's very good at hiding his emotions. Could I use like intelligence and insight, perhaps, to get just a glean? Like, did he like wince like a certain word, like Gyasid, or
Yeah, sure. Like try to more like deeply analyze sort of like what he's saying and all that. Sure, you can do that if you would like.
Yeah, and I'm gonna blood surge on that.
Ooh.
Get shit done.
4 successes.
4 successes.
Yeah.
You sort of get the sense that he doesn't exactly care for, like, based off of like little inflections here and there and sort of like how he says things, you sort of like get the impression that he doesn't particularly care for being sidelined when he knows he can be useful.
Okay. Yeah, that was gonna be the next thing I was asking is I know he's irritated, so that's why probably Ephrem is gonna quit asking questions, because he already is okay. This is a sore subject. This guy knows something about it, might have a clue, but nobody's asking his opinion about it. So.
Oh boy. Well, Yvaine doesn't know this information.
Well.
So
I think what Ephrem is going to say is, all right. Well, thank you for your time, Scourge. Sorry to have troubled you.
Not a bother.
And he's gonna kind of step away. If Yvaine wants to stand and continue to ask questions.
Yeah, should Yvaine hang back? If
Go for it.
I don't know if is Delilah
fuck
gonna
off.
stay, or is Delilah also gonna kind of step away when Ephrem steps away.
Ephraim.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Ephrem. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Is there
Yeah,
like
they're
a
pals
lot of
for
people
life.
around, or
Or
is it
unlike.
kind of like a little bit more quiet over here? Just
Over here it's a bit more quiet. Like there's like the bartender who's dishing out the blood wine, but other than that, this particular sort of back section is fairly sparse at the moment.
okay. All right.
Because if Yvaine comes over, then he's gonna fill her in. No,
Yvaine's gonna
So.
definitely hang back. So oopsies. I made a oopsie. When they kind of take a second to step away, I think Yvaine's just gonna kind of watch Austin for a moment. And then, oh my god, please don't kill my poor sweet summer girl. She's just gonna kind of put the lightest hand like on Hassan's like right arm, and just facing him, just like, I understand that there are.
And I'll say it doesn't like get an immediate reaction or something. Just like as soon as you sort of like touch his arm, he doesn't like whip around at you or anything. He just yeah. No. He sort of just like casually like turns to you being like, okay, well, this is not what I was expecting, but he's not saying anything.
Okay. Yeah. It's meant to be like more of like I'm speaking to you in like a come here as friends. As
I'll
much
say,
as kindreds can
honestly,
be friends.
yeah, I'm gonna say honestly, there's probably deep down, he's probably feeling some sort of way about that. That's for sure. But
sorry, don't kill me just yet. At least wait till later. She'll kind of put the lightest hand, so light, on his arm and say, I know that there are a lot of different parties at work here with their own rules for how they want things to happen and function, and there are certain things that each of us have to follow. However, I do appreciate the help that you have offered us now and before, and I hope that if sorry, my cat's seeing demons. I don't know if you heard that. Atlas was like, "Rah," and just started looking wildly at the ceiling. If things seem to be more than the coterie can handle, I would like to hope that we can still look to you for some guidance, because it is appreciated. I know maybe we're not the best at showing that in maybe a sincere way, but it is. She's
Very
so
well.
sincere. She's so nice. Wow.
Well, the effort is appreciated.
Just gonna give him just a warm smile and say, and then remove her hand and say, sorry for being casual, but I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
You as well.
Okay. Wait. Does she have a way to contact Hassan if she wants to try and probe him for more information? I don't think she has like pager contact.
No, I don't think she had that. You could
Oh.
ask him for it if you would like, though.
She starts to turn away and she'll say, actually, in that vein, if I'd like to reach out to you with information or a question, would you be all right if I were to give you my pager information?
Of course.
Yeah, there you go, big dog. You're important. See? You're important, Hassan.
And then, like,
Alright.
as soon as you give him the pager information, he'll just immediately like take out his pager and then send a message, and you get a message on yours, and it just says it's Hassan.
Alright, and she'll nod and say, appreciate it. Thanks. Give a little wave. Go on her way. And like after she's rounded the corner, she'll just kind of page back like, it's Yvaine with a little smiley face. A little smiley face. Could be positive. You're a resource. We'll be best friends, bud.
And that doesn't get a response back, but
Hey, battle of attrition.
yes. But you sort of like as you like walk away, you practically like feel him sort of like glance over in your direction as soon as he like gets the message.
Best friends. All right. She'll go back to Delilah and Ephrem just like, all right, I'm done.
Okay.
I think we need to be careful about those particular words, Kiosid and Magar, were a sensitive subject to him. He's being purposely left out of the investigation.
Oh.
I could sense that from his body language. So your new friend, Yvaine, just be careful with probing too deeply.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate the advice. She is on the inside already thinking, cool. So there is something that I could get from him if I play my cards right. And also potentially there is some discord between this group that I can play off of. It's a small thought. Listen, it's a small thought. At the end of the day, there is a little bit of manipulation there, but it will help in the future. So this is another card she's kind of tucking away for later.
Okay.
Hey, the prince might not always be the prince. The sheriff might not always be the sheriff.
Ooh.
Anything can happen.
These are true statements. Anything is possible.
Mm-hmm. To the coterie house.
To the coterie house.
Yep.
Bat signal.
I still got to come up with that little graphic of the bat thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll get to it one of these years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For the sake of brevity, unless anyone wants any last minute things at Elysium, you all make it to the coterie house, although you were planning on meeting Scully at a park.
Oh yeah.
I will
yeah.
just I will just put that statement back out there.
Can we go there instead?
Yeah. To the nearby park.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you head off, and Scully, after you've been there for about 45 minutes, you see Merrick eventually roll up,
Oh, good.
and then maybe about 10 minutes after that, the rest of the coterie shows up.
I love how we're all kind of like, who's gonna be snatched next? Or is Ephrem gonna be snatched again? Or is it gonna be someone new?
This is the constant paranoia.
Oh yeah, I love when people get kidnapped in this game. Good times, good entertainment.
Yeah, because you haven't.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not my problem. Not for real.
I remember the kidnapping in the last game. That became a whole situation, but you know,
Nah.
Still wasn't my problem.
that's for another time.
Do we want to maybe put a pin in it for right now and pick up? I don't know how much more you got planned.
Well, there was just sort of the information wrap up was all I had planned left.
You good, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay. And proceed.
Okay.
And all of you have been busy, it seems.
Yeah, I would say that.
How was your evening, Merrick?
Less than productive, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, we did head to Elysium on our end. However, we didn't get so much in the way of information, I suppose, right?
Yeah, you sort of got like hearsay, essentially.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Ephrem will turn to Scully and so our new friend. What were you able to uncover this evening?
Well, I've got confirmation on who it is, it seems. And also, yeah. See, nobody's around, right? Yeah, just checking. The paranoia.
Yeah, it seems to be a solitary park by and large. At this time of night, kind of the only people you would find here normally would be teenagers staying up way too late and probably drug dealers.
Okay, yeah.
In case we need a quick snack. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just gonna go ahead and say, met someone who knows the guy. Did get confirmation that it was a Magar.
Magar.
And not too much on the information front on what that is, but particularly interested in thin bloods and compares to any kindred that he thinks is special in some way, whether that's because of their physiology or because he just likes them.
It kind of sends a chill down Ephrem's dead body, hearing about this particular interest.
Oh no.
Yeah. And some kind of La Sombra hybrid. That's sorry, let me reword that. It's a hybrid created by the La Sombra. And then there's some Fae involved in making them. Yeah, fairies,
Fairies. Huh. I guess you learn something new every night.
Yeah, don't know anything.
Could Ephrem make a roll, perhaps? Maybe like intelligence and occult? See if he's heard anything like that, or...
You can give it a shot.
Okay. The player knows, but...
Yeah.
Ephrem knows any of us, so... Two successes.
You don't really know much more.
So.
Yeah, I would say you didn't. You're not overly familiar with them, because
He didn't play D&D. So.
He didn't play D&D. Yeah, he was not a nerd.
No, he's not a nerd.
Wow, crazy.
And so, I'd say before now you were basically just like fairies. That's a bunch of like you made up bullshit for little girls,
like leptons or something. I mean, so, he's like, okay. He's like, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, at least this gives us a better idea as to what exactly we're dealing with.
Do have a name for the face, but
An actual name of what this creature?
yeah. I mean, I guess his name.
Okay.
So named Lorcan. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have a name and a definitive statement as to what exactly we're dealing with, that should be able to help, at least to an extent. There is the worry that potentially he'll continue maybe manipulating these hunters in the future. So I think it's best for us to remain on guard for that, as well as him trying to deal with us more directly, like in Ephrem's case.
Yeah.
I know you guys said you didn't learn too much from Elysium, but do you have any more information on the specifics of what they're capable of? Wasn't able to get too much.
I suppose while we're sharing. And he'll be honest with us. I think they know less than you do concerning this.
Great. Awesome.
The only other thing that I could think of is seeing if we could maybe get I don't know, a meeting with the La Sombra Primogen to see if we can get information about the power that they use. That's the only other vein that we haven't really tapped.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to share more information around than we have to. Because say the Scourge was already a little irritated that he was being kept in the dark.
Well, if we want to not involve people who were not already involved, then you could attempt probing the sheriff a bit more.
No. She makes that sound.
He is a La Sombra.
I know.
It's true. And that would be the...
Oh, that makes sense. I did know that,
yeah.
and that makes sense as to why.
Yeah, he had the whole
Elevator.
zappy, put him in the whole thing. I
No,
suppose...
the sheriff is a great resource. He's just, does anyone else want to talk to him?
I suppose that would be the proper chain of command.
Yes. If
Ephrem is like a Camarilla boy through and through. So
if you and he would like look at he'd sort of like look at Ephrem and says, "Well, with your more official position now, you could potentially leverage a meeting with the Sombra Primogen and keep any specifics as vague as possible. Play it off as mere interest. Play to her ego."
Oh, I can do that.
I'm sure, at the very least, that way you'd be able to get a bit more information on their shadow manipulation and abyss mysticism.
And it'd all be just official business.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's a little more confident than I am. Yeah. All right. I'll make that happen.
Best of luck with that then.
Honestly, Delilah.
Mm-hmm.
Yvaine just kind of looks at you and... pats her eyelashes a little bit.
What do you need?
I wouldn't mind also trying to get information from the sheriff as well, so that we have two sources we're trying to get information from, just in case either or goes south. However, I don't want to go by myself. That man is terrifying.
I'll say that actually. I would say that gets a chuckle out of Merrick.
Well, we can go together.
Okay. And also, I need to put in a complaint with Rick about his behavior. Anyways. Yes.
Well,
I'd invite you along, Scully, but you'd need to come to Elysium.
I think I'm good.
I think Scully and I can pursue a different avenue while the three of you are dealing with that. My contact over in Ward 2 that the three of you met at the crime scene, she may have a bit more information on the movements of these hunters, and I think it would be beneficial to know if they are still under this Lorcan's sway or manipulation, or if they are acting of their own volition again. If there have been more incidents, Opal has not made me privy to them, but I'm sure a little twisting of her arm and she'll let me in the loop.
And just to clarify out of character, we have essentially solidified that this is a Magar that we're dealing with.
According to Zephyr, he was extremely confident that yes, he's like, based off of how he acts and like what he seems to be about and all that, screams more Magar than Kiasid to him.
Okay.
That sounds like a plan to me. I don't think I'll be welcome in Elysium, so try not to get into much trouble, I suppose.
And this way, we're all being productive.
Okay. Well, on that wonderful note, should we reconvene at a later time? Are you two coming to the coterie house? I feel like if I ask Ephrem will simply say no, and it will break my poor little heart. No, let's see.
He's probably already walking towards his car.
All right, bye, Ephrem.
And Merrick will sort of like turn towards Scully and sort of like, without saying, sort of be like, all right, what's your 2 cents on the matter?
I'm going to go home.
Sounds good. And
Van's like, I'm so glad to see that team building exercises are working. We're feeling so much closer than we were the day before.
And
we did make progress.
yeah,
We did.
that is true. That is true.
For 24 hours, we've done a good job.
Yeah, and Merrick will say, I'll accept the invitation.
Van's immediately pleased. But she doesn't say anything. She's just like, she's immediately pleased.
All right.
It's evident.
And if there's nothing else that anybody wants to do, then I think that's a good place to wrap up for this session.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take that man's hand.
Thank you.
And lead him to the house.
Yeah, Delilah is there too.
Let's
Delilah is also in the house.
Yes.
We're all gonna go to the house together normally. But what happens after we get to the house? Who knows? Anyways.
Poor Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah. Rapid City.
Not too much. I don't want to get
God.
sued. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you again. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you all.
Thank you.
That was really good.
And,
That was a grand time.
We will
Yes,
be
Waffle
back.
House, please sponsor us.
Yeah, Waffle House, please.
Waffle
sponsor us.
House.
Waffle House.
Yes.
Sending
It's-
a call.
It's the ubiquitous meeting site for all my games. Is Waffle
Mhm.
House.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Waffle House. This could be your chance.
Because-
Look, in our world, it exists in
There might-
Michigan. This is your chance to branch out. Come on, bring it to us.
Also, it's because a Waffle House is a liminal space, and you can't convince me otherwise. Weird shit can happen at a Waffle
does.
House. I don't care what
Oh,
it is.
yeah. Oh,
Anything
yeah.
can happen there. It's like the
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. God, I remember years ago when we'd all go to the Waffle House at like 1 a.m. and everybody was like toasted.
That's the thing. That's the thing to do. I say here, the equivalent is IHOP.
It's
go to
not the
IHOP.
same.
It's not the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, I would say it
Yeah.
is not the same, but that's the closest equivalent we got.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago though when I was like still in Illinois, so yeah.
All right. Well, folks, we will be back. Actually, we are not back next Friday night because it is a holiday. Unless the players really are available to play next Friday night. I had not planned a game. I was planning the next week, so we'll talk this week. Who knows, folks?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a game next Friday night. Otherwise, happy July 4th to everybody and folks in America. And please be sure to give this video a like, tell your friends, and we will see you next time. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
That man would